Palma. Oh,
man.
pass. That's unfair, man. Palma, 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-point.
Oh, my goodness.
Face a jumper by Robin Celis. Caballero has time. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
Ito ang Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. Ito ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League 7th season. And we are back in the city of Lucena in Quezon para sa ating Saturday triple header. It's a Saturday, so it means out of town ng inyong liga. And it's another important day, particularly sa mga kupunan natin na naghahabol sa team standings and also teams that are looking to keep their positions in the team standings, including ito Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. They will take on ang Marikina Shoe Masters in our first game. Mamaya, it's the Quezon City Galleries Taipan taking on the Muntinlupa Cagers. And in the third game, in the main game, it's the Quezon Huskers trying to protect home court against the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys. Magandang hapon mga kaliga, sa Dove Tupas kasama si Mike Perez, and we are greeting everyone on our social media pages, Facebook and YouTube. Magandang hapon sa inyo. Mamaya live po ang inyong liga sa Solar Sports starting at 6 p.m. Kasama din natin at courtside si Sydney Crespo, and she will be providing updates later on. And Coach Mike, another important day of basketball action dito sa MPBL, lalo na nasa Lucena tayo, another out-of-town game.
Oh, isa sa mga paborito kong puntahan na venue itong Quezon Convention Center, and very exciting games that we're having today.
Oo, very exciting. So, sobrang exciting. Binangga ako ni Will Macaloni. Hindi man lang siya nag-excuse me sa akin. Grabe, iba ka. Will Macaloni. Last game day, kahapon, nasa Caloocan ng liga natin, and there were some shock results in that game day in Caloocan Sports Complex. The shock result right here, Coach Mike, is Zamboanga taking down Imos.
Yeah, and it speaks a lot of the kind of system and the kind of team that Zamboanga has formed this season. Lumaban talaga itong Pampanga Giant Lanterns, but it really just wasn't enough, as very efficient itong Zamboanga Sikat in that win over the defending champions, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns.
So Abra also winning, and also nanalo din ang Caloocan, the home team, with Jeff Manday as the best player of the game. Nueva Ecija ang ating pag-usapan dito. They'll be in action right now against Marikina, and Nueva Ecija coming off a rousing win over the San Juan Knights, a battle against their fierce rival. It was the battle of the undefeated, billed as the battle of the undefeated ang Nueva Ecija and San Juan. Nueva Ecija, kitang-kita natin this early kung gaano kalakas ang team na to.
Yeah, I think it really boils down to their efficiencies. No? Makikita natin yan doon sa laban na yon, when they needed shot makes, certain players really stepped up. And pretty much a close game, 13 lead changes, 10 ties altogether. JC Marcelino had 11, while Rob Celis had this magnificent 22 points. Will Macaloni added 20, and John Wilson contributed 14. Just efficient shooting right there, 50% from the field. They were a +6 when it comes to assists, and the points in the paint na talaga nga naman nakatulong dito sa Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, where they were a +18, and the fast breaks, really something that helped also the cause of the Rice Vanguards in that win against the Knights.
Well, there's a lot to unpack dito sa victory na to ng Nueva Ecija. More than the efficiency, Coach Mike, I think we saw a lot of pride and championship pedigree sa team na to as they took down the Knights. Marikina naman ang pag-usapan natin. The Shoe Masters are trying to move up in the standings. Medyo, it's been a rough start for them, that they had a nice morale boost with this victory over the winless Bulacan Cuyas.
Oh yeah, and they were definitely very thrilled to be playing for the very first time at home. In fact, in-start nila yung first quarter, 19-0 kagad, led of course by Nem de la Cruz, who had 25 points. Casajeros added 16, and itong si Carl Peñano had 10 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for the guy. Really good field goal shooting at 43%. They did good from the three-point area, shooting 35%, making 13 of their 37 attempts. They were a +10 in rebounds, an impressive +7 in offensive rebounds, and really just the second chance points also that helped a lot. You know, big win here para sa Marikina against Bulacan.
Only their second win for Marikina. Steven Codal and the Shoemasters ready for action against the unbeaten Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Let's go to Richard Campos for the starting lineups.
Season 4 champions, the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards Mega Bet. At forward number 8, Robbie Celis. Playing center number 14, Will Macaloni. At forward number 16, Tosi Khalil Tansinko. Point guard number 19, JB Marcelino. Two guard number 26, Ilonggo Superman, Billy Ray Robles. That coach is Don Dulay. Assistant coaches Rob Wainwright, Matt Magalintal, Arnold Oliveros, Jonathan Oiluan, Rick Season, and James Bartolome. Assistant team manager Jen Tigradice. Team consultant Von Monta. Team manager Raymond Dizon. Team honors Ivan Cuevas, Ryan May Cuevas, and Bong Cuevas. Starters for the Marikina Shoemasters. Playing center number 4, Carl Peñano. At forward number 6, Julius Tiburcio. At guard number 22, R.R. Casajeros. Point guard number 77, Jetro Escoto. Small forward number 31, Nem De La Cruz. The Shoemasters is led by Angelo Nebres. Assistant coaches, Joseph Ochada, John Paul Basilan, Fernando Bunyag, and Ray Mendoza. The team managers, AJC and Monroe Quesson. Referees for this ballgame are crew chief Jay Castroverde with Jonathan Kanda and Leonardo Rayosa.
Starting 5 is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Nueva Ecija has JB Marcelino, Billy Robles, Will Macaloni, Rob Celis, and Ralph Tansinko in the starting lineup. Marikina will have Jetro Escoto, R.R. Casajeros, Carl Peñano, Julius Tiburcio, and the leading scorer, Nem De La Cruz, for this game against the undefeated Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
Yeah, and of course, yung Rice Vanguards trying to get the longest winning streak so far. They're aiming for number 12. And itong Marikina naman, talagang gusto ay follow up yung panalo nila against Bulacan Cuyas. Pero it's gonna be a tough task as you face an undefeated Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
Nueva Ecija in white and Marikina in blue. Robbie Celis, a week removed from that outstanding performance against San Juan, and this duo of Will Macaloni and Robbie Celis turning out to be, you know, one of the deadliest in the league at the moment.
Yeah, maganda kasi they're learning to even more play alongside each other. They were so good in last year, pero this year nakikita mo yung kakaibang chemistry na talaga eh. Just really good at playing together, and you see it's coming up in the results in the games that they play.
Macaloni, one dribble, he draws the foul. Referee Jonathan Kanda making the call. Kasama niya si Jay Castroverde and Leonardo Layosa. Macaloni at the line. Gets the first free throw to drop, and very crucial for Will Macaloni's rhythm was that game against Bulacan. No? Parang medyo nawalan siya ng weight sa kanyang shoulders, and kitang-kita he carried that that Nueva Ecija team against San Juan in the first half. No? Bigat ng bit-bit niya as the rest were trying to find their groove in that game. Si Will Macaloni muna ang nag-take charge for Nueva Ecija.
Oh, at saka napakaganda nun kasi for the most part, there are games where your offense really runs through Will Macaloni. May mga importanteng situation na siya na yung nagtitimo, siya na yung nagiging decision maker at the top. And for the most part, for him to be able to do that, kailangan yung kumpiyansa talaga bumalik eh.
Here's Carl Peñano with the finish.
And you love, again, yung mention mo kanina sa Delph about Rob Celis and Will Macaloni being, a good chemistry this season. For the most part din, si Robbie Celis rin ang kumakarga sila sa kanila sa mga games na crucial. We saw that in Pangasinan.
Biglang nagkaroon ng ranking kung sino ang pinaka-sure ball sa liga na to. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X-Pop Personal Karaoke Speaker, Everyday Karaoke. Umangat si Robbie Celis sa power rankings eh.
Oo. At saka yung kung kailan pumapasok yung mga tira niya sa mga crucial part ng game
Clutch performers dito sa liga natin. You can put him up there with the likes of Orlan Omar. This season I think Robbie is really up there. Elite yung kanyang play in the clutch. Won a game against Pangasinan, overtime win. San Juan taking over in that last 5 minutes, whether it was playmaking or scoring. Tancinco, Tossi knocks down the first 3 of the game to make it a 5-point lead for the Rice Vanguards. And I think there's one more game where he took over early in the season. It was also medyo mabigat din yung laban na yun eh.
But I was there in that Pangasinan game as you see Rob Celis once again getting a 2+1 special. I was there in the Pangasinan game, and also the second half, he only had 1 touch in 1 attempt. Pero pagdating ko sa overtime, talaga he was so good that he scored 9 of the 11 points ba in overtime for dito sa Rice Vanguards.
The thing with Robbie Celis is he really makes it look effortless. 13 points and 7 rebounds per ball game para kay Robbie Celis.
Tsaka across the board, yung field goal shooting, ang taas eh. 75 from 76, 75 from free throws, 3-pointers, 33%, which is pretty decent in that area.
Lem de la Cruz attacks. Left it to Carl Peñano, who misses. Peñano will try again high off the glass.
Battle of the lefty bigs yun. Carl Peñano at saka Will Macaloni. Alongside Billy Robles also trying to stop Carl. But Carl, has that heft to try and compete inside. But he's gonna need more from mga ibang kasama niya dito sa Marikina.
JV Marcelino pulls up. Rebound ni Arcasajeros. It doesn't look like JC Marcelino is playing today.
Oh, is he a street coach ba?
I think I think he may have sprained his ankle. Ang balita ko na natapilok in training, in practice.
Okay. So, we wish you quick recovery, JC. But dami ring pyesa kasi para dito. Even Rob Celis, JB. This guy, gusto ko makita mag-start talaga si Tossi Tancinco. In the first game this season, I was really impressed with his shooting. Enough for him to win, I guess, best player of the game in that match.
Robles fouled. Casajeros, a lot of contact there. And no surprise, the referee Layosa made the call.
Billy goes to the line, and so far, lahat ng starters nasa floor pa. Pumasok na ngayon si Di Mayuga for Casajeros.
Niloloko nga ako ni Tossi Tancinco. Siya na daw ang bagong Marcelino.
Pag gano'n?
Oh. Sabi ko, mabilis yun ha. I'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
Kala ko papasukan mo ng Splash Kasim eh.
Turbo ano ka ba?
Turbo Kasim.
Turbo brother.
Pero ibang klase yung pinakita rin ng kambal in that game in San Juan. San Juan put up a really good compete against Nueva Ecija, pero Tama kasi sinasabi mo kanina, yung pride, kitang-kita mo sa dalawang team, no? While they were competing. I was watching from home. Grabe talagang napapalundag rin ako sa ibang mga plays.
Yung intensity ng game. It has a playoff vibe and also yung pagka-lock in at focus ng dalawang kupunan. Pati ng coaches, particularly.
Agree.
It was really there. Di Mayuga misses.
Tsaka kita mo yung yung very composed na approach ng mga ng mga coaches. I mean, talagang focus lang dun sa game plan nila for that particular match.
Coach Don Dulay. And we have a 5-point game at the moment. Under 5 minutes to play here in the first. Tiburcio, the turnaround shot won't go. Di Mayuga, back to Tiburcio. Jethro Escoto up against Robbie Celis. Escoto drives and kontra-tempo. Hindi nakapalpal si Robbie Celis.
Off-legged yung yung attempt eh. Kumbaga, feeling mo pa-release pa lang, na-i-release na pala.
No, kailangan ng mga gwardya yan eh, ganyang galaw eh.
Agree.
Macaloni, it's a foul on Big Will.
Yeah, sa feeling ni Will siya yung kinapitan, ito yun.
No, usually when you do layups, you take two steps. Pero doon isang paa pa lang binato na.
Right.
Able to flip it up and in. Jethro Escoto, Nem de la Cruz, Escoto, Rafael Go, jumper, yes.
Good shot by Rafael Go off that handoff from the top. Nakita mo yung yung timing ng pagtira niya. Sinubukan niya muna drive papunta sa kaliwa. Nung nakita niya nakasarado, dito pa lang iti-take off ko na. Try kong i-jump shot sa elbow and thankfully for him, he made that shot.
11-10. Marikina keeping it close here. Goal for the lead, no good. Rebound, Robbie Celis. Quickly to the Ilonggo Superman. That's Billy Robles with a finish.
That it's not that easy to be stopping Billy with that much momentum going downhill.
De La Cruz will fire. That's off. Rebound ni Macaloni. JD Marcelino going right. The hang time no good. Robbie Celis keeping his control of the rock and putting that one in.
Hindi ko alam kung ako lang ba, but up until now, kung walang now jersey number itong Marcelino Twins, I still would not be able to
I don't.
It's JC and JV. Natawa ako dun sa game yung sabi nyo. Ngayon kilala na natin kung sino yung isa. Somebody had something on his nose, di ba? Yung parang tinamaan yung ilong niya.
Yeah. May cotton.
May cotton niya.
Pero hindi rin eh. Pag wala yun, mahirap pa rin eh.
Oh, hirap.
And look at this play galing kay Billy Robles.
Right.
Former MVP John Wilson and Ryan Costello are in the game. That steal there by Wilson. You know what's disappointing there, Coach Mike?
There's no defense.
After the steal, pinabayaan lang ni Nem de la Cruz makalayap si John Wilson.
Right, there's no defense. After that, you strip from him. And just look at the officials not even defending, and John just finishes it off.
Timeout here for Marikina. Down by 7 in the first period.
Welcome back to the MPBL MPBL. Coach Don Dulay had to pause and think when I asked him how tired he was after that San Juan game. Even though they prepared very well with 5 straight games of practice or 5 days of practice, it was still mentally exhausting. He appreciated how they played at their own tempo and stayed confident in their defense. But right after congratulating the team in the dugout, sabi ni Coach Don, this doesn't give us a trophy. He reminded the players to stay focused on the bigger picture. Para nga sa nalalapit nilang challenging stretch facing Batangas, Pampanga, and Zamboanga, sabi ni Coach Don, it starts here in this game and they want to carry over that momentum all the way through June. Sidolf, Coach Mike?
Thank you so much, Sid. And, you know, to add to what Sydney said there, Coach Mike, nakita ko yung mukha ni Coach Don after that win. He was very nonchalant, very chill about it. You know, he knows it's a regular season. He cannot be carried away by that win.
That's right.
You know, as we take you to this 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, one-stop shop appliances, and kitang-kita na he was all business after that.
Agree. Yun rin ang gusto kong sabihin, all business kasi as I watched that game, you know, you could tell by the demeanor na, you know, yung next possession mentality ang tinitingnan na ni Coach on next game and next possibilities for them.
And you know, this is Nueva Ecija has some grand ambitions this season. You know, the goal is to regain the championship.
Yep. Agree.
They were the last team to win it before Pampanga. So sila na yung last team na kanalo .
That's why in that their next game would be in Abra again, in Abra, right?
Yeah.
Kalaban nila Abra. That's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a parang magandang gauge between those two teams, ano?
Well, they have Pampanga on June 6th.
Ah, yeah, meron pa pala. After, no?
In Brenzi.
Brenzi, right.
So, gandang laban yan. Jammer Hamito. No.
At saka I'm sure the Giant Lanterns would want to show a first home game nila yun, no? This season.
Yes.
So they've been playing away and to come back home, hopefully get a win against Nueva Ecija.
Roque against Manaytay. Roque misses the 3. Rebounded John Wilson. That's a kick ball. And by the way, we'd like to give a birthday shout out to Richard Tampos, our Coliseum announcer. One of the most hard-working guys I know. Richard Tampos says Manaytay lays it in. We've been through a lot, Richard. Dahil na namin pinagsamahan ito.
Nagsama kayo sa ano, di ba?
ABL, yeah.
Right. Oh, I see you.
He was my roommate in the ABL. That's the voice right there. Him and Miguel Pere make the game so much better.
Oh, okay.
By the way. That's we appreciate all the work that Richard and Miguel do for the league. And we'll do it. What a way to close it out. Kodal and Hamito battling for the ball. And parang dumaan lang.
Oo.
Na parang hangin itong first quarter natin. Mike Perez.
Kung merong kagandahan man para dito sa Marikina is at least ang ganda ng shooting, 40% at 50% respectively for Marikina and Nueva Ecija. Yung points in the paints halos hindi nagkakalayo, pero yung free throws malaking discrepancy at yung 3-point makes which really gives this lead over to the Rice Vanguards.
22-12 at the end of one. Rice Vanguards on top against the Shoemasters.
It was pretty tough. Pero aside from that, you know, it's the battle of the coaches eh. Kasi yung game plan ng San Juan, it was really good na para na-check nila kami. Like, they scored on us galing sa play nila. We scored on them galing din sa play namin. So, it's a play, parang laro siya ng chess for both coaches sa San Juan side and ours.
Probably one of the first few high-profile marquee matchups this season. San Juan against Nueva Ecija last week. And Christian Manaytay gives his take on that one. He was involved in that matchup. And he, played a key role for Nueva Ecija. And what I like about it is that he seems to be very immersed in the matchup as well.
Oo. At saka I love how, I think in an interview where Coach Don Dulay said that you're going to be the next face of Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards.
That was Robbie. Robbie
si
Celis.
Robbie Celis, yeah.
Costello knocks down his second three.
And that matters a lot, yung succession planning for the next guys that would be, yung mga key players para dito sa Rice Vanguards.
And Diane putting on a dribbling exhibition there. Go. Rebound ni Jammer Hamito. Costello is ahead. Waits for Jammer. Jump stop ni Jammer. Balik kay Mokon. Kenneth gives it up to Manaytay. Airballs the three.
One of the few times you'll see him airball a shot from upstairs. It's pretty good from there.
25-12. A little over 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Steven Cadal trying to go backdoor with Go. That play was well read and well defended.
Yeah, keeping one guy inside the paint to try defend against it. Nice pass.
Oh, Manaytay, diniretso, nagmadali. Had one dribble to the other side and maybe, salo, tapos angat.
Nagsettle sa alley-oop eh. Pero that was the right read for Jammer Hamid. I mean, slot pass, first thing that you look for is a high-low.
I haven't seen John Wilson shoot yet,
Oh, yes. Pero I'm sure titira yan mamaya.
except for that layup earlier. And now times have changed para kay John Wilson. But he had an outstanding game against San Juan. Jammer Hamito against 4 blue shirts, no good.
Yeah, he was so outstanding in that game. He was parang 4 out of 4 from the perimeter and issued 4 assists. Ganda nung nilaro ni John that match.
But that was, ang akin doon, stand out sa akin yung depensa niya, coach. Ganda ng depensa niya dun sa game na yun. He had a few steals as well in that game.
3 steals.
Di pala few. 3, marami na po yan.
And 0 turnovers. That's how good he was in that match.
Manaytay trying to find Jammer. Roque with the steal. Charlo Velasco
4-on-4.
is in the game. Jammer and Kudal are still back on the other side of the court. Now Jammer rejoining the defense. Go pulls up. Did not get the roll. Rebound ni Jammer Hamito. 13-point lead for Nueva Ecija. Here in the second quarter in Lucena.
Solo coverage, no help at all.
Jammer blocked by Kodal. Terrific job defensively by Kodal. Landayan knocks down the jumper.
Yeah, that was a good stop by Kodal on that post-up, mid-post by Jammer. Really just single coverage.
Nice stop and go move there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, in this spin move ni Manaytay. Jammer and Christian have missed a handful of shots from close range here in the second quarter.
That's right. Very makeable and close range.
Go, foot on the line, no good. Manaytay with a rebound. This team is just going through the motions at the moment. 25-14. Tyrone Chan and Bobby Balucanag will enter the game in the next dead ball. John Wilson misses the 3. Rebound ni Kodal. Nandayan, binabantayan ni Mocon. Jumel, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Kodal for 3. No. Costello saves it to Manaytay.
Takbo the other side.
Costello gets a running start. Ryan, nabas kay Manaytay. Wilson, quick first step. John Wilson, binomba sa ere, and he was able to put that one in off the glass.
Ganda naman ng pagkaka-finish na yan ni John Wilson. Double clutching it before going for that finish through contact.
27-14. Landayan for 3. Short. Go. His attempt. Yes! Half go. Getting that one to drop. To trim the deficit to 10. 27-17 as we take you to this 3-point shot brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. A little late on the closeout there. And Go knocks down the 3. The timeout on the floor, under 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. The Rice Vanguards with a tough 3-game stretch. Former champions Batangas City will be their next opponent on May 31 in Abra. June 6 is a date with the 2-time defending champions. And another matchup on June 12 against Zamboanga in their home floor in Palayan City. Get a special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Back to live action dito sa Quezon Convention Center in Lucena. Wilson. Costello. First miss from beyond the arc.
Pero maganda yung lineup ng mga games na yun para dito sa Nueva Ecija.
Sarsonas, I think Wilson got a touch. Costello. Behind the back. Ryan, the drop pass. Chan is blocked by Tiburcio. Back the other way. Carl Peñano. Balucanag is there to defend. And Bobby B is whistled for the personal. Peñano will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Pero doon pa lang kita mo na yung prinsipyo pagdating sa depensa nitong Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Somebody has to go down and protect home and the paint, which Bobby Balucanag immediately goes to.
This is the fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
Even doon sa shot make na yun ni Landayan, kita mo dalawa kagad yung naka-cover inside the paint. It's not gonna be ganun kadali para po makapasok sila at makapenetrate, get paint touches and paint finishes.
27-19 is the count. Tossi. Under 4 minutes to play. Here's JV Marcelino with the getaway. Bobby B. The kick out to Tossi. Did not hit from beyond the arc. Roque gets it across. Sarsona is under pressure from Tancinco. Back to Roque. Roque, the kick out to Velasco. He gets it back. He'll fire a 3. Short. Tancinco to Wilson, to JV Marcelino, to Chan. Chan
Gotta take it.
will fire. Yes!
Yeah, Yan ang matagal nang hinahanap ni Tyrone Chan yung pagkakataon makapuslo at makapuntos dun sa paborito niyang spot sa floor sa 3 points.
And I like the way Nueva Ecija played with a lot of pace there. Hindi makaset up ang depensa doon
Oo,
ng
tsaka,
Marikina.
tsaka ang bilis nung advance ng bola kagad sa harap no?
Roque did not get that one to drop. JV Marcelino. The Pierce Chan, the spin. Yes, soft touch. Tyrone Chan. Quick 5 points para kay Tyrone Chan. Showing nimble feet and a soft touch for our Gixer. Great move of the game, born for greatness.
Magkaibang paraan para maka-score kanina. Tres, ito pinakitaan tayo ng footwork at napaka-soft touch dun sa floater na yon against the defense of Roque.
And Marikina sues for time. The lead is at 13 for the Rice Vanguard. We'll be right back. Marikina's next 3 games, they go up against the Imos Grumpy Joe. That's going to be in Abra on May 31. June 9, Pangasinan ang mga kalaban nila. June 16, the Batang Kangkalu of Caloocan. Three-point shooting, 4 of 9 for Nueva, 1 of 13 for Marikina. Make that 1 of 14 after the miss from Tiburcio.
Oh, yung nag-iisang 3 points nila galing pa kay Rafael ko sa big man nila. This is a flare for Tyrone. You could see that coming already.
And Don Arenas is in the game for the first time. Arenas finds Tancinco. Chan will try, no good from beyond the arc. Sarsonas with a rebound.
Had a good line with that shot though. Si Tyrone Chan. I've always believed na isa na yan sa pinaka magaling na talaga trailer 3 finishers itong si Tyrone. And so if he gets the rebound, defensive rebound, and they're pushing the ball down the floor and he's the last one to come in, you expect that they're gonna return that pass back from top to Tyrone for that trailer 3.
Inside, Tiburcio draws the foul.
Tibay rin ang battle sa loob nito ni Tiburcio. Even in the other games that we've seen him play, he really for the most part has been a guy that's nakikipag-compete sa loob ng shaded area. Might say a little bit undersized compared to some of the bigs, pero hindi bumibigay pagdating sa kagustuhan makakuha ng rebound, makapuntos inside the paint.
This free throw of the game is brought to you by Extreme Appliances sa Subok at Completa Appliances brand ng Pilipinas. And Tiburcio was the best player in their first ever win. Marikina. It's 32-21. Nueva Ecija up by 11. JV Marcelino. Chan puts the ball on the deck.
Backdoor.
They go backdoor. JV trying to penetrate. Well defended. It will stay with Nueva Ecija.
Ganda rin ang help low side nila Tiburcio doon, tsaka nila Nem de la Cruz. Enough to thwart that backdoor.
Chan, jumper, no good. Arenas with a rebound. Labas kay Chan. Now with JB Marcelino. 10 seconds to work with. JB, double team. Throws a pass to Tancinco. 5 seconds to shoot. Tosi gets Sarsonas in the air and he misses it badly. De La Cruz will fly and trying to attract contact there. Arenas and Silas Sabale, and the foul on Sabale. Don Arenas a chance to get on the board here for Don Arenas. Nueva Ecija's homegrown player. He has also developed as a player dito sa kupunan na to. He's been there since season 4. 34-21, 13 points ang lamang ng Nueva against Marikina.
Ito kailangan talagang trumabaho ng gusto itong Marikina to close the quarter.
Calzonas commits the turnover. Nueva Ecija will go for the last shot of the first half. Marcelino with the ball. Marikina with fouls to give here. JB to Chan, that's a 3, no good. Arenas trying to save it, and that will do it for the first half. Dito sa Quezon Convention Center in Lucena. Rice Vanguards, their record still spotless itong season na to. 11-0. They have a 13-point lead against the Marikina Shoemasters at the end of the first half.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya's. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way off and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Right now, it seems like every extra possession is going to the side of Pangasinan, and they convert. The Heat Waves up by 11, and this has been a collective effort.
On the second chance opportunity, an off-ball movement. Hockey assist by Gabo, who got the offensive rebound. Direct assist for Talio to Flores. 11-point lead.
Only fitting that he leads this team in the MPBL. Comboy on the run at Lawan. Oh, access denied!
Wow! Oh my goodness.
Cebu Classic defense on point.
What a way to swat that shot away.
Oh, couple of layups para kay Eman Calo. Thought it was a goaltend there. Lastimosa with a tough drive.
Sometimes you got players na talagang mas gusto pa yung may bunggo. And si Carlo ang isa na doon. It's been pretty much the rebounding action, allowing for second chance opportunities.
63-68, baseline inbound for Basilan. Cabagnon from the corner. Big shot from the crunch man. It's a 2-point game. Anxious moments here for Binyan, but what a play from Coach Rich Alvarez to free up the crunch man for the corner 3.
Well, you gotta credit Eman Calo for that perfect pass. Just on that catch and shoot motion for Alex Cabagnon. They've had, what, 5 in succession ba? Kasi si Val Chauca nakaisa rin kanina.
Oh, Jeff
wow.
Comia, binitbit muna ang bola bago tinapos sa kabila. What a move from Jeff Comia.
2 points yun, pero mukhang 3 points sa effort eh, no? Grabe yung finish na yun ni Jeff Comia. Just a master in dribble penetrations.
Wow. Taking the lead here, 42-40, under a minute to play. Wamar against Macaloni now. Wamar is ahead. Wamar floats. What a shot.
Now they go for the switch. Malaking yung big man ang kumuha, no? Kay Orlan Wamar was able to beat Macaloni. But how about that
That's Steph
finger roll?
Curry-esque.
Montuano, balik kay Robbie Manalang. 8 seconds sa kanilang shot clock. Robbie trying to turn the corner. Forces up a three. Oh, banks it in! Robbie Manalang under the rest. Able to will that one through.
My goodness. I was gonna say, nasa isip ko na rin yung sasabihin ko. I was gonna say, what a terrible take by Robbie Manalang. Answered the call the past few games, including this one. Tampos gets ahead. Tampos hangs in the air and gets the bucket. The hoop and the harm para kay Boom Boom Tampos.
Oh my goodness, Javi. The elevation, the finish through contact.
Defying the laws of physics, Boom Boom Tampos featured in our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet. I will absolutely feel more game if I see more shots like that from Boom Boom Tampos.
San Juan unable to capitalize on that steal. Pero here comes Nueva Ecija. The spin cycle and the finish. The former MVP, JC Marcelino. You know what? This is too big of a game for JC Marcelino not to make an impact.
Because we heard the oohs and ahs even before the shot. Doon sa spin move pa lang, narinig ko na sa crowd.
Only have one timeout here in overtime. Wala nang timeout ng Pasig. Garcia having trouble. Gets it to Lester Reyes. Robbie Manalang attacks. Kick out pass. Jaime against two defenders. Getting that shot up and in. 23 points for Papa Cheats.
He has defied the defense numerous times in this game. Tough shot after tough shot. I thought Manalang would have been better off here trying to go inside into the basket, trying to sneak his way past that help defender. I thought he could have scooped a shot in on that left side, but still giving it to that deep corner kay Chito Jaime.
Halftime dito sa Quezon Convention Center in Lucena. Nueva Ecija with a 13-point lead against the Marikina Masters, and pretty much one-way traffic here in this first half. Nueva Ecija actually missing a handful of close-range shots in this game, pero they are still in full control of this matchup and dominating almost every department here sa laban natin.
And pretty much it's gonna take a lot of effort on the side of the Shoe Masters to be able to perform a little bit better than how they did in the first half. Yung percentage sobrang baba niya na 27, and you gotta make more shots if you want to win against dito sa Rice Vanguards, which is tough.
No, but at the moment, Nueva Ecija, this is a good time for Marikina actually to turn up the intensity and catch Nueva Ecija a bit relaxed sa larong to.
Tsaka kailangan nila yung mga guys from coming off the bench na makatulong na dito sa mga starters. So far, si Rafael Go was the only one who had the most points with 5, coupled with Landayan, I guess, who has 2.
Macaloni, first possession, he scores off the glass and in para kay Will Macaloni.
That dribble handoff had everyone covering up top. Totally forgetting that short roll by Will.
Costello is the leading scorer, and Macaloni, it's a balanced offensive here for Nueva Ecija. Our Casajeros lays it in.
Usap kaagad si John at saka si Will and the defensive coverage dyan.
Macaloni. Baseline attack para kay Willie Robles.
Ito pagkakataon ng pumuntos kaagad real quick itong Marikina.
38-23. Nueva Ecija players could not believe the call there. This is the assist of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. And they convinced Coach Don Dulay to make a challenge on that out-of-bounds play. An out-of-bounds decision, rather. We'll be right back for the results of this challenge.
The challenge made by Nueva Ecija is successful.
Successful challenge for Nueva Ecija. Billy Robles was not convinced sa desisyon ni referee Jay Castroverde, and he lets him hear it. After the decision was announced, 38-23. Robbie Celis, beautiful pick provided by John Wilson for Robbie Celis on the drive.
Yeah, and so far they haven't gotten stops dun sa left side ng floor na yan. 2 out of 2 na yung layup attempts by the Rice Vanguards.
Biggest lead of the game at 17. Wilson to JV Marcelino for 2.
Quick fast break para dito sa Rice Vanguards. And if you're Marikina, you can't fall into complacency right now. You're being down big. Kailangan mag-step up, and katulad nga sinabi mo, take this chance to be able to compete against this really tough team in Nueva Ecija.
42-25. The play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. You know what? The mindset of the teams, particularly dun sa ilalim ng ating team standings. And you go up against Nueva Ecija, it's gotta be more than your normal game. you know, ito yung league leaders eh. Dapat ganun yung mas iba din yung pakita mo
Oo.
kaysa sa normal game mo.
Kasi doon mo masusukat kung nasaan ka. Kumbaga, yun yung standard na hinahabol mo, yung pagkakalaban mo yung mga top teams. You know, lalo na itong Nueva Ecija na hindi pa natatalo this season. And so, you wanna gauge hanggang saan ka na ba, gaano kakalayo against them if you compete.
Peñano misses. Robles is ahead of the pack. And the Ilonggo Superman scoring. He's been a bundle of energy here in this ball game. 44-26 is the count. It's the biggest lead of the game again for Nueva Ecija.
Ayun dyan, 4 fast break points na kagad para dito sa Nueva Ecija early in the third game. Buong first half, naka-6 na puntos lang yan sa fast break.
Tiburcio. Leon de la Cruz preventing the fast break by fouling. Ito si Billy Robles. This is the fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig. Free installation for split-type air conditioning.
Tsaka pretty obvious simula pa kanina. I think mid ng second quarter na talagang tinitingnan nila kung meron ng advance ng bola kaagad sa harap para sa Rice Vanguards. And so far, nakaka-4 na puntos na sila this quarter. John for a 3.
Yes, Wilson. Lead is now at 21 points.
Tsaka gusto mo dun pagka-basket ni John, takbo kagad pababa no? Sa depensa. Yung paraan ng kanyang pagbabantay katulad niyan, iniiwasan niyang maskrinan siya even against that screen by was that Kudal. Was Peñano. Kasipag din talaga no.
Here's the nice ball movement from Nueva Ecija leading to this John Wilson three-pointer. Go cuts. Good defense by Celis. Go able to release the pass to Casajeros. Got that one. (47-28). There's a foul. It will go against Rafael Go. 19 points ang lamang dito ng Nueva Ecija here in the third.
Interesting din yung bantayan ni Rafael Go at ni Rob Celis. Kumbaga itong si Rafael Go, gusto nila talagang i-convert into a wingman and guard. And I feel si Rob Celis is just the benchmark for that position, no? If you're going up against the Rice Vanguards.
Sorry to say, but medyo
Malayo. Pero yun yung
there's a gap.
Pero yun yung kumbaga aspiration di ba? So, katulad nga sinabi
A
mo.
chance for him to learn though.
Agree.
We're playing against Robbie Celis.
That's right. Yung pagkakataon na makalaro, mag-compete at matuto.
De la Cruz misses. Macaloni off to Robles. Wilson. Casajeros stays in step. Offensive foul on John Wilson.
Parang hindi. Tama si John. Feeling ko he was just going straight up to that lane. Didn't even dip his shoulders in my opinion. Kaya lang natawagan pa rin. Tinaas naman niya yung kamay niya to acknowledge.
Well, get credit to Casajeros for here.
Getting to the spot ahead of John.
Maganda yung paggalaw ng kanyang mga paa. De la Cruz continues to misfire. Billy Robles atake. Iniwan kay Macaloni. Travel. Billy Robles did not give Macaloni some space there. (49-28) is the count. Steven Codal is back in the game.
Tama ka dun dapat hindi dun sa side na yun kumat si Billy. In-open up niya dapat yung lane na yun for Will.
Yung tropa natin si JV Orrera, the former MPBL player watching from Canada at the moment. Also watching from Canada is Nika Valle Cunanan from Alberta, Canada. Magandang hapon sa inyo. Magandang umaga ngayon. Foul on Wilson. Tatlo na si John Wilson.
Humihingi ng review si John. Pero inilingan lang yata ni Coach Don.
He's been playing with a lot of energy, John Wilson, in this ball game.
Right. And si John kasi is a player that does not take anyone lightly. So every game you see him giving his all.
Nem de la Cruz with an outstanding game against Bulacan. 25 points, 4 of 11 from beyond the arc. Also one of the players na dito rin flourish sa liga natin.
At saka ang ganda ng nilaro nung sana na sa first quarter na yun ni Nem de la Cruz where they led by 19-0 early in that game, and he was practically really the one leading the charge, even the pace in that game.
Covered by Robbie Celis. Celis spins and powers through. No basket, but there will be 2 free throws para sa kanya. Robbie Celis with 22 points, 6 rebounds and 4 assists in that game against San Juan. 17 in the second half. And for more on Robbie, let's go to City Crespo.
Sa Delph Coach Mike, alam niyo ba, Robbie Celis is a proud father of 2 junior MPBL players, Rob Brainiel sa under 18 at Rob Daniel sa under 11. Biro niya, dami na naming Rob sa MPBL, no? But I'm sure we won't have a problem seeing more of them in the league. Kwento niya, hindi na daw niya napanood ulit yung Nueva Ecija San Juan coverage dahil bagsak at tulog daw siya after. Pero nagising siya kinabukasan sa boses ng kanyang bunso na si Rob Daniel, his biggest critic, na hinihimay daw ang game at sabi sa kanya, bakit bad shooting ka? Biro niya, kahit naka 22 points na ako, hindi ako i-compliment nun. Ganyan rin ba ang mga Riley nyo sa Delph Coach Mike?
Well, she's not that harsh, okay? Otherwise, she won't get any Robux from me.
Oh yeah.
Okay? But nonetheless, well, it's nice to... This is a story, a familiar story now in the MPBL with our players. Kasi dumadami na ng mga manlalaro natin as we take a look at this block. Oh no, that's not a block. That's a foul. That's a foul. Come on. Come on now.
That was contact.
That was a foul. And
Right.
we will talk about Robbie Celis when he returns. And John Wilson facing his former team, the team which he helped to a championship in Season 2, the team where he had his biggest individual achievement in the league as a regular season MVP in Season 3. He had 14 points in that matchup against the San Juan Knights, and he was really on his game in that matchup against San Juan.
Yeah, he's very focused, lalo na on the defensive side of the floor where he was pretty much playing all the disciplines of their defense.
Well, a warning on Nueva Ecija because I think they were complaining of the foul on Robbie Celis. Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a clear foul, by the way.
I never got called.
And you know why medyo maano ako, Coach Mike? Because I covered the game as well. Na may mga, the last game was covered was Rizal and Binyan. There was a foul as well.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't called on Naive. Yung early.
Right.
Early. But of course, this is a part of the game. It's not always perfect. Alam natin yan. The play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. feel more game with 1xBet. But tayo nga, nagkakamali din.
Oo.
Di ba? So, we move on. And balikan natin
And
yung
continue with the Rob Celis story.
Kwentuhan natin yung Rob Celis. Sabi niya nga sa akin, mas magaling pa yung anak niya. Feeling niya. Especially the eldest.
Yung nasa
NU.
Nazareth, nasa NU, right? Yeah.
Ay, nakita ko, ibang klase din gumalaw.
Yeah, I saw it. Talagang kakaiba Well, not just for the recent clips that we've seen of that younger Rob, pero even before, I think from last year, nakikita ako, sabi ko, maganda magiging development itong batang to.
May,
Stays the course.
I don't think he's as tall as Robbie. He's a guard, as far as I know. Pero may yung feel for the game, I think. The feel for the game, I think he's taken that from Robbie for sure.
Right.
Kung anong galaw ni Robbie, kung anong kaswabe, ganun si Robbie Celis eh.
I always look at, when I look at players.
Did Tosi Tansico just use his
The left hand, right?
Parang gusto niya si JC Marcelino talaga siya.
Oo nga. Baka mag-headband na rin yan.
JC Marcelino move yun ah.
Pero staying in that conversation about yung babatang mga players right now, tama ka doon, walang size, no? But yung talent and skill definitely is in there. But you can argue that Rob Celis is not really as fast as everyone else, pero yung pace niya is very comfortable pace na kung saan makakadiskarte siya and make very good reads and make very good decisions.
8 points now for Will Macaloni, but I followed Rob Celis' career, okay? Before the MPBL, I covered him in the ABL, and before that, in the D-League. And this was I think tumatak talaga tong player na to sa akin when I think he was playing for Blackwater. Probably around 12 years ago. 11, 12 years ago. He was playing for Blackwater, and NLEX was dominating the D-League for 2 seasons. And they played in the final. Blackwater was coached by Coach Leo Isaac, who was our former colleague here. And he led that team to a championship and broke NLEX's dominance sa D-League. This of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Kitang-kita ko, yun ang nakikita ko Robbie Celis niya. The take charge guy. And we will be right back. It's now a 29-point lead. That's our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. We are back at Quezon Convention Center in Lucena.
Christian Manay tayo ba yun?
Oo, yata. Meron. Still have 2 more games here. Quezon City against Muntinlupa in the next game. And then, the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys, led by a Lucena native in Coach Louie Gonzalez, taking on the Quezon Huskers.
Oo. Home ni Coach Louie yun, pero away team siya.
Kaya nga. I hope he has a lot of family tonight.
Oo nga,
It is
no?
I think there's a festival, the Pasayahan Festival, nakita namin kanina. When I tie scores underneath, ngayon, kinalahati na ng Nueva Ecija ang score ng Marikina. 28-10 scoring here in the third, and we're almost done. 8 seconds remaining. Peñano and a foul of Costello. Didn't need to, but there's a foul anyway.
Right. And yung production patuloy na nagiging struggle para dito sa Marikina. The best quarter that they've scored so far is the first quarter when they scored 12.
I'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL, and we'd like to give a birthday shout out. Happy birthday kay SK Chairman Alfred Nathaniel Flores. Happy birthday. Sa kanya ba galing yung halo-halo? Hindi, no? Hindi. Kay Val. Kay Val galing. Thank you, Val. 11 points and 3 rebounds from Carl Piñano. And Tosi almost made the 3. That will do it. 30-point advantage for the undefeated Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards against the Marikina Shoe Masters. Check out the highlights of the game. Brought to you by Sip Plus, official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
And after relaxing a little bit in their production dun sa second quarter, pumukpok na naman ang puntos itong Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards, outscoring itong Marikina 28-10 in the third.
Will Macaloni had 18 points in the first half and finished with 20 against San Juan. 8 of 9 shooting for Will. An impressive game, getting his groove back after his early season struggles with injuries and his timing. Had to get his timing back. 10-point shot tonight against Marikina. 6 rebounds and 2 assists as well for Will Macaloni. Let's go to Sydney Crespo.
Sa Delph Coach Mike, kung kwentong pagod lang, pagod na pagod daw talaga si Will Macaloni sa sipag ni Mike Kalisaan last game. Alam niya na itong si Mike daw ang energizer ng San Juan Knights at para paghandaan yan, umextra daw siya ng takbo for 1 week at sumabay sa drills ng mga wings nila kahit hindi naman yan kasali sa program niya. Sabi ni Will, sa totoo lang, hindi ko iniisip yung points ko. Nakafocus ako kay Mike kung paano ko siya masastop nung game na yon. Buti na lang daw nakasabay siya sa energy ni Mike pero after nun, pahinga siya ng 2 days sa Delph Coach Mike.
And rightly so. You go up against Mike Kalisan in that ball game, and it's just a track meet the whole time.
Oo.
And a good thing though, lumaban siya at nagano ba, and he also gave San Juan problems.
Agree. Tsaka yung makita mo yung touches ni Mike Kalisaan, very limited. He had only 7 attempts to which he made 4 on the perimeter. And the other scores have really come from the free throw. So Will was really there.
Quarter scoring, biggest output of the game for Nueva Ecija is 28 in the third. And Marikina managing just 11. The baseline drive from Costello. The kick out to Arenas. That's short. Amito with offensive rebound and he puts it in.
Lang bagay rin talaga ni Jammer na nakakatulong sa ilalim para dito sa Rice Vanguards.
64-34. Rafael Go now with Roque. He'll pull up the jumper, won't go. Rebound ni Manaytay. Bigay agad kay Ryan Costello. Under 9 minutes remaining, 30-point lead for Nueva Ecija here in the fourth. Kenneth Moco, the handoff to Arenas. Arenas will fire. It's over the top. Arenas still looking for his first basket of the game.
Yeah, balik na dito si Nem de la Cruz.
This is the assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Escoto. Bigay kay Go. Peñano up against Jammer Hamito. Almost taken away. Peñano spins and misses. Rebound ni Manaytay. That's a foul on Peñano. 8 minutes remaining. 64-34 is the count. Inside they go. That's Christian Manaytay scoring. De La Cruz. Mocon keeping in step. Nem pulls up. No good. Ivani Manaytay now with Costello. Quickly to Mocon. Nearly intercepted by De La Cruz.
Halos token resistance talaga ang nakukuha nitong Rice Vanguards.
This is the play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Jammer Hamito. 68-34. 34-point lead for Nueva Ecija.
1-1.
Escoto. And a whistle going against Ryan Costello. 2 free throws for Escoto.
Battle of the toothless guys on the floor. Ito yung high-low with Jammer Hamito for good pass by Christian Manaytay. And I've always loved how Jammer Hamito plays real good with that high-low action. Kung siya man nasa taas o siya nagsisil sa baba, either way, it's pretty good.
Costello sits with 9 points in the game. Bobby B has entered the game. Escoto rattles the first free throw in. And get a special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. 1 for 2 for Jethro. Iba ni Bobby Balocana. Now with Ken Mocon. Hamito.
Back pick.
Arenas. 0 for 3 from beyond the arc so far para kay Don Arenas. There's a foul away from the ball. That's on Arenas. A hold against Nem de la Cruz.
Right. And Arenas trying to keep in pace with them, but I got called for that foul.
De La Cruz. Bigay kay Peñano. Quick spin. Peñano. More angle there para kay Peñano.
And I thought he already had a shot on that elbow. Didn't need to put the ball down on the floor as may naka-help na doon. Naka-drop coverage na eh.
Mocon. Jumper. No.
Oh, wow.
Offensive rebound. Jammer Hamito for 2.
Jammer Hamito again. Doing real good inside the paint.
Nem de la Cruz. With the 3 ball.
Ang hope mo talaga is makita yung Nem de la Cruz na naglaro ng first quarter in that last game against Bulacan the same way.
Oh, Don Arenas, finally!
Yan ang specialty of the house niya, no? 3 points.
Yeah.
Don Arenas. And
But boy, I've seen this guy work in the gym. Don Arenas. Ibang klase work ethic ng batang to. Gustong-gusto ko siya na mabigyan lagi ng chance just because of the work he puts in.
Tsaka ano eh, in my opinion, he's a sponge. He's very willing to learn.
Yeah.
If you observe him how he is on timeouts and in huddles, and once he's on the floor.
Ibang klase magtrabaho sa gym to si Don Arenas. Nakakasabay ko to. Ako, nakikipagchismisan. Siya magbubuhat.
Actually, yun ang tatanong ko. Ang tanong ko, nag-gym ka?
Hindi. Hindi nga. Pumunta lang.
Pumunta ka lang. Akala ko-
Iba yun. Iba yun sa nag-gym talaga.
Okay.
Pumunta lang ako.
Napunta
Napadaan lang.
Napadaan lang.
Napadaan
Okay.
lang.
That clears it.
Okay. Baka
Kasi ini-imagine ko na yung ano
baka
eh.
mag-iba yung isipan ng mga nanonood sa atin.
Baka kasi nagpe-flex ka na doon sa mga salamin. Eh.
Nag-gym ba yan? Pagkadating ng venue, uy, yan yata yung commentator na nag-gym daw.
May daw.
And De La Cruz able to draw the foul. And they got another homegrown player, Clark Terrigue.
Oh yeah, si Clark.
is in the game.
These two have been the longest tenured ba na Rice Bagger.
Yes.
Derige tsaka si Don Arenas.
This retail of the game is brought to you by Extreme Appliances na subok at kompletong appliances brand ng Pilipinas.
And for them to get, floor time alongside with the other key players para dito sa Rice Vanguards, I'm sure they would relish that.
Bobby V as well.
Si Bobby V nga pala, no?
Yeah.
Homegrown rin nga pala.
Bobby Balucanag, okay? Not anyone else.
What?
Bobby V.
Yeah.
Baka Bobby Brown. Bobby Balucanag.
Okay. Akala ko Bobby Ledesma.
Such a cool name, Bobby.
Yep.
Chan, fade away. He is blocked by Tiburcio. Nem de la Cruz gets in the lane. Able to draw the foul on Arenas. And Nueva Ecija already in penalty.
A lot of fouls given up here early in the fourth quarter. Hi, what's your name? Bobby. Iba nga dating, no?
Yes.
Iba. Para kang alta de syudad na
Grabe. Nem de la Cruz. One of the hot shots dito sa Shoemasters team. And get a special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer.
He pretty much is who Marikina is. He's been leading them in a lot of departments. And ganyang kahalaga itong contribution ni Nem de la Cruz para sa kanila. And he's gotta do more to be able to rack up some more wins.
Instant offense para kay Clark Derrigue. Scoring there with a spin move.
Ang hirap maglaro ng ganyan. Yung merong goggles. Have you tried that?
Yes, I tried. I
Ang
took it
hirap.
off.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing.
Talaga?
Nung nagagaggles na ako. Kasi I was playing point guard, pero yung peripheral mo kasi na-affected no?
No, tama.
Yeah.
Well, there are players na nasanay na rin. Horace Grant, for example. Sorry, baka hindi na kilala si Horace Grant.
Naman, kilala naman siguro.
Yung iba.
Okay.
Horace Grant, Chicago Bulls yun dati.
Oo.
Siya talaga yung pinaka-famous na nagsuot ng goggles. Kareem.
Oh, yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Pero sa bagay, ganun rin naman yun.
But it's so difficult, honestly.
Yeah.
Pag hindi ka talaga sanay, hirap talaga.
Sumubok rin ako ng contact lens back then. Pero didn't work. Nagda-dry up yung eyes ko So parang kumakalas ba yung contacts? Oh!
Talaga? I haven't tried. That's why I think to me, struggle talaga pag gabi yung game at hindi maganda lighting for
Pero mataas pa rin yata percentage mo
Kanina, pagdating ko,
Yeah.
sinubukan ko lang naman.
Oo nga naman. Yung kuha ni Luisa sa, where was that? In Nueva Ecija last time, right?
Naman. Hanapin nyo na lang po yun.
Hanapin nyo lang. Makita nyo yung
Grabe.
shooting touch partida, naka-pantalon at naka-polo shirt.
Hindi, hanggang doon lang tayo. Enjoying the game lang tayo in whatever way possible.
Pero naglalaro ka pa rin ng mga recre.
Not anymore kasi daming MPBL. Every day.
Oo. Pero napuyat si Coach Christian the other.
Oo. Yun ang totoong baller.
Intense.
Yun ang totoong baller.
Actually, I watched him dun sa yung Ken Bono na game. I watched portions of it. Intense nga talaga maglaro si Coach Christian, no?
Alam mo ba, dati, and sa sobrang intense niya, binabantayan niya yan 1 to 5.
Talaga?
1 to 5. Lahat sa sobrang intense ni Coach siya, naglaro kami dati nun sa UAAP Goodwill Games Lahat ng pictures. Meron siyang picture na binabantayan niya ako, nasa labas ako, na nagda-drive. May picture siya sa sentro, na nagtatry siya, nag-attempt siya mag-block. Sabi ko, lahat na lang. Go hard talaga. Tawag
Oo.
namin dyan, Mr. Go Hard.
Talaga?
Oo, kasi hindi namimili ng, ano yun eh, ng, sino, kumbaga, medyo ano lang tayo, relax na tayo. Wala, he only plays one way. Oh, Clark Derrigue!
Wow!
Grabe, 7 points para kay Clark Derrigue, putting together one of his more memorable fourth quarters dito sa MPBL. 82-45 is the count. Jomel Landayan with the layup. Alam mo dati yung layup na yan kay Jomel Landayan, yung kabila yung ano, yung talon, yung
Off leg.
off leg. Hindi tinuturo yun eh.
Oo, totoo.
Hindi tinuturo yun eh. Talagang kailangan pag right-handed yung layup mo, right ang unang step mo, tapos kaliwa and then up yung ano mo, right knee mo.
I think nagsimula yung tinuro after kay Steve Nash, if I recall correctly. Those were the years I
Ginagamit
was coaching
niya
na ginagawa na namin yun.
Ginagamit
Oh,
niya
yeah.
lagi yung kay Steve Nash.
Oo. Tapos dumali pa kay Rondo, di ba? May ganun din si Rondo eh.
Hindi talaga ginagamit. Alala ko yun eh.
Kaya anticipated mo na pagle-layup na dito pupunta sa kanan eh. No? Man, hindi mo na alam eh.
So malayo na rin ang narating ng basketball. And nakikita natin dito, modern times. Nagamit na yung kung ano-anong moves. Clark Derrigue, mukhang sanay sa goggles.
Oo nga. Mukhang mas lumilinaw yung ring sa kanya eh. Pero hirap talaga maglaro.
I actually tried. I have two. No? Yung goggles na yun. Kasi kailangan... ang layo din eh. Yung pagsuot mo, sobrang clear talaga.
Yeah. Na parang, I don't know, parang masakit rin sa ulo eh. No? Pagkatagal mo na suot.
Medyo ano ka lang, medyo dizzy ka lang sa simula.
Nakaka-disorient din eh, no? At certain points. And it's tough lalo na pag pinagpapawisan ka kasi nagmo-moist minsan.
Tinapon ko after first quarter. Pag simula na pinapawisan,
Ayaw mo na.
ayoko na. Hindi ako makashoot. Pag gubad ko, hindi pa rin makashoot. Huwag na
Mukhang
lang.
hindi na yung salamin yun.
Sub na lang.
Sab na lang.
Inside, Derrigue. Too strong.
Working his way inside.
3-second violation.
Tsaka isa pa yun, yung nagagalaw yung gagal. Si Tomas siya kanina pagka-rebound, inaayos niya.
85-50, all over but the final score here in the Quezon Convention Center. Drive by Casajeros, no good. Bobby B is ahead. Nice pass to Don Arenas. Hindi niya natapos ang finger roll. Foul whistled on Mocon. Idagdag mo pala si ano?
Sino?
Si dito sa MPBL,
Sino?
Marlo Aquino, yung gumagamit dati.
Yeah.
Sila the first
Father-son.
father and son.
Right.
Naunahan pa si Bronny tsaka si LeBron.
Oh. First in the world.
Next to Robert Jaworski and
Yeah, that's
Vice
right.
Mayor, former Senator Robert Jaworski,
That's right.
Senior, and Vice Mayor Dudot Jaworski. Arenas, the extra pass. Chan, yes. Nice to get the other Rice Vanguards a run out dito sa laban natin for Coach Don Dulay. And it did not let up even after leading at the half. And this team has high standards, championship ambitions this season. And this is another step in the right direction for Coach Don Dulay and the rest of the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. A convincing win against the Marikina Shoemasters here in Lucena.
And they've always been, regardless kung sino nasa loob ng floor at kung sino yung kalaban nila, they always, defaulted back to their system and their philosophies. to which every player, even up to the last guy on the roster, would embrace.
Best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. And Will Macaloni is our best player of the game, and Will had 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. 6 shooting para kay Will, and just leading this balanced offensive by the Rice Vanguards, leading to an 88-52 victory. Nueva Ecija is now 12-0. Let's go to Sydney Crespo.
Thank you so much to Coach Mike. Well, congratulations. Kwento mo nga no, na napagod ka talaga last game. But today, you made it look so effortless. I know you didn't take this game lightly. Nakita naman namin yun sa scores at rebounds mo today.
First of all, I just want to thank God sa panalo binigay sa amin. Yun nga, so we started to practice yung effort namin against San Juan. So as always, our coaches told us na we should not take in every team lightly.
Will, tough stretch ahead, no? Batangas, Pampanga, Zamboanga. Anong magiging itsura ng preparations nyo para dyan?
I think it will start sa practice namin. Yun, kung ano magiging adjustment namin, we just trust our coaches naman at sa system namin. Thank you.
Will, anyone you want to greet?
Binabati ko yung family ko, yung wife ko nasa bahay, baby ko si Ashanti, family ko sa Cebu, Bartolabag family, Panilag family, si Dada, mga bebe, Mama Tasing, si Jerwell, Jergin, at yung si Vera Boys, at sa lahat po naman sumusuporta, si Boss Bong Cuevas, Ma'am Rian Cuevas, Ma'am Vian Cuevas, Boss Ivan Cuevas, Ma'am Jen, thank you po sa lahat ng sumuporta sa Nueva Ecija Vanguards.
Thank you so much and congratulations once again. Will Macaloni is our best player of the game, brought to us by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Sid, and congratulations, Will Macaloni, with our best player of the game. He leads Nueva Ecija to a 12th straight victory, this time at the expense of Marikina. Up next, it's Quezon City against Muntinlupa. Dito lang sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. We'll be right back.